Shalom. This is part 3 of Ephraimites and the final presentation in this series. If we go back and recoup what we've learned from Lesson 1 and Lesson 2, we talked about how the kingdom of Israel split into two kingdoms, the house of Israel in the north, the house of Judah in the south, and they split over financial and political reasons and not over religious reasons. We also discussed how Assyria conquered the northern house of Israel, took them into captivity, and eventually, a couple hundred years later, the Babylonians conquered Assyria, and that there were three basic theories on what happened to these Israelites. First one is that they were taken into Babylonia as part of the booty, and eventually were incorporated into the Babylonian Jewish community. The second one is that they assimilated into Assyrian society and just became Assyrians. The third one is that they left Assyria probably upon seeing that Babylonia was going to conquer Assyria, and they moved northward and intermarried with the pagans and became the nations of the world, basically. I hold personally to number 3. I believe that these people were going to survive no matter what. They had proved in the past that they were people of survival, that they didn't hold particularly to religion, but they held more to the financial aspects of life and living their lives out in what they considered a good, decent way. And I believe that they intermarried with pagans, and I showed how that if you took one person from the house of Israel and married him to a pagan, over the 2,720 years or 69 biblical generations that have occurred since 720 BC, that there can be over 23 million descendants of these two people. So there's no doubt in my mind that they did move northward and begin to intermarry. If not because of the Babylonian takeover of Assyria, certainly because of the financial routes, that the commercial routes that were in that area. And as we know, people along commercial routes often move around. And it's totally possible that this occurred. And I believe that perhaps there are millions and millions of descendants out there, but they don't know that they're descendants because they had no physical ties to their ancestors. They were not like Judah in the way that Judah concreted itself with its faith, and it kept in its own communities because of its faith, where the house of Israel turned their back on Hashem and Torah. They didn't want anything to do with that. They just wanted to live their lives and be happy. And so they lost all contact and all linkage to their history, to their ancestors. And they don't realize today that they're actually ancestors of the northern 10 tribes of Israel. That's why they could easily be termed the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And I believe these are the people that Yeshua, or Jesus, was talking about when he said, I came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I believe that it was his purpose to fulfill the prophecies in Hosea that said that Hashem would not forget the descendants of the northern 10 tribes. And I believe Yeshua came so that his message would bring people back, these descendants back to the Torah. And we see that occurring since the 1970s onward. We see a huge movement in people who are formerly Christian now starting to come back to Torah and starting to keep the festivals, the feast days, starting to keep Shabbat. And as a member of the house of Judah, I say that's great, that's wonderful. I hope that these people truly are the descendants of the northern 10 tribes of Israel. There's no way to prove that they are, and there's no way to prove that they aren't. But I say the proof is always in the pudding. And what do these people show? They show that they're coming back to Torah, they're wanting to keep the feast days, they're wanting to keep Shabbat, and I believe that's a tremendously wonderful thing. And it only serves the house of Judah, because Israel right now needs all the help it can get. And these people are very Zionist. They believe that Samaria is the land of their inheritance, and they want to go back and they want to inhabit that land. Part of that land is the West Bank, and we know that Israel and the Arabs have been negotiating over that for a long time now. But these people believe that this is their land and they will not give it up. And they're willing to fight for it. They're willing to settle in it. They're willing to make it prosperous. And I think it would be a wonderful thing for the nation of Israel today to recognize these people and let them come in and let them do their thing. It could only be a positive thing for Israel. And I believe that they're doing a disservice by not taking advantage of it. As for me, I have talked to Angus and Batya Wooten, who are progenitors of the Two House Ephraimite teaching, and I believe they're very serious people. They take their teachings very seriously. They believe it with all their heart, and I don't think there's any hypocrisy in it. It's all very, very wonderful, and I believe they're very sincere about it. And I'm willing to accept that. If they honestly believe that they're the descendants of the northern 10 tribes of Israel, more power to them. I hope they succeed. I know they're making big inroads with the nation of Israel right now, and my prayers are with them. As for the house of Judah, I believe they will eventually accept it. Right now, they're still having the carryover from the Christian programs of centuries ago that they have to work through. But they are beginning to work through it. And I believe in time that they will come around and they will see that these people are their cousins and that they need to encourage them and help them in every way possible. And I just thank the Lord today that He's bringing this time about. And I believe that the world will be a much better place for it. And maybe it will even bring on the coming of Messiah. Who knows? But I believe it's only a positive thing in my own opinion. Of course, how you feel about it's up to you. But I would encourage everybody to really look deeply into their teachings and to see what there is about it that may be true, that will fit in with the Bible teachings on it. And maybe it will change some minds and open some hearts. Until then, may you have a wonderful and blessed day. Yom Nifla and Shalom.